Yu-Gi-Oh! Erratas. Whether you love them or you hate them, they exist. A Yu-Gi-Oh! Errata is when Konami will officially rewrite the text of a card, changing the way it operates. And there are some powerful cards that Konami has decided to change to make them more fair and balanced, whatever you want to call that. In this video, we're going to be going over some of the most powerful erratas in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how it completely changed the game. Now, if you're a history geek like me, then this video is for you, as you're going to learn a lot about how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game used to operate. And if you aren't a history geek like me, you probably should know that there's erratas on these cards. So stop cheating with the original printing. I know you've done it. The first card I want to bring to you guys' attention is Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. Originally making its debut in the Shaolin Jump set. If I can remember correctly, Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragons were about $45 each, and yes, we all needed 3 of them. Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon's previous iteration says you can banish one dragon monster from your field to special summon this card, and then you can special summon a dragon monster from the graveyard to your side of the field. Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon's effect wasn't a hard once per turn, meaning that if you got rid of the card and brought it back, you could special summon again. As of making this video, I'm pretty sure we all know this, seeing that the errata just happened. Now, the errata of Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon does change the card text to you can only gain the effect of special summoning a dragon monster once per turn. This was huge for strategies like Chaos Dragon, who would use Red Eye's Darkness Metal to special summon Light Pulsar, and then Light Pulsar once destroyed would special summon Red Eyes. And seeing that both of these cards were at 3, it provided consistency for the strategy, meaning that if you drew both of them, you could just summon your Red Eyes to bring out your Light Pulsar. Later on, this card fueled so many Dragon Link strategies, being able to abuse sending this card to the graveyard and then bringing it back to your side of the field so you can extend with even more plays. With the new errata of Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon, it prevents players from special summoning dragon monsters with this card effect more than once in a turn. Now, a question I want to ask you guys for this card and every other card in this video is, was this really necessary? I want you guys to post down below in the comment section and explain why. Another card was a complete phenom back in its day. Chaos Emperor Dragon, at the cost of 1,000 life points, would send both cards in both players' hands to the graveyard and then inflict damage to your opponent for each card sent. I remember way back in the day, Chaos Emperor Dragon used to win me games. We were like having a 4-way duel, and then I sent everybody's hand and field to the graveyard, and they all lost like a jillion life points. Chaos Emperor Dragon is one of the biggest reasons why we even have a forbidden list in the first place. There was a combo with Chaos Emperor Dragon that you would use its effect and have a Sangan on your side of the field, add a monster named Yatagarasu from your deck to your hand, and then seeing that your opponent has no cards in their hand or field, you attack with Yatagarasu, which will prevent them from drawing. If you're getting what I'm saying, you inflict 200 damage until they have no life points left. The new errata of Chaos Emperor Dragon prevents you from using any other card effects the turn you use this effect. And by huge nerf, I mean that was huge. Especially considering that Yatagarasu is still banned and other cards were errated around Chaos Emperor Dragon to prevent the Yata lock from ever happening again. Now, a card that followed along with Chaos Emperor Dragon is Sangan. Sangan was actually regarded to as one of the staples in Yu-Gi-Oh! You would be hard-pressed to find a strategy that just did not run it. And the reason why Sangan was just so good is that when it was sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add any monster you want with 1,500 attack or less from your deck to your hand. Does hand traps ring a bell to you? Fortunately, hand traps didn't exist at that point in time, but Tour Guide from the Underworld is one of the main reasons why Sangan found itself on the forbidden list. With Tour Guide, you could tutor Sangan to your side of the field, and then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can search any monster you wanted, even another tour guide. Some people are like, hey, you can either have this tour guide or you can have this Sangan to get you a tour guide. I'm gonna pick the Sangan every single time. Sangan was later errata to the monster that was searched cannot be activated the same turn it is added from your deck to your hand. And to be honest with you, that doesn't really stop Sangan from being good in Yu-Gi-Oh! The main reason is that it can still search hand traps, which you're not going to use in your turn more often than not. And then there are other monsters that don't activate that Sangan can add that you can still use. So Sangan's still not really bad at all. A card that received a huge nerf was Brain Control. And boy, Brain Control is just one of those cards that transcended metas. At the cost of 800 life points, you can target one face-up monster on the field and gain control of it. For some reason, Konami thought that this card would be less broken than Change of Heart. It's literally the same thing. There's like no restrictions to this card. 800 life points? Come on now. Brain Control was most popular in Monarch formats because not only would your opponent lose a monster to you, you can then tribute that monster for a Monarch to also be able to destroy cards on their side of the field. Imagine being punished for just existing. Like seriously, you got punished for having monsters and then punished for giving your opponent a monster. What is this? Brain Control earned its right on the Forbidden list because it was really busted. Its errata changed the tides of this card being one of those powerful cards to ever exist to you can only target normal summon monsters with Brain Control. I never knew how trash that would make Brain Control. Now in theory, Brain Control still sounds really good. You can snatch an opponent's normal summon monster. How many times has your opponent left a normal summon monster on their field? And that's where the downfall of Brain Control is. There's so much special summoning in Yu-Gi-Oh! That normal summon is typically used to special summon another monster. And then other times when you normal summon, it's a monster that you really don't want to take control of. Now with Mind Control being limited, there hasn't been too many cards to be able to fill the same space of Brain Control, and some could say for good reason. I hate losing my monsters just for having monsters. An errata that completely changed the landscape of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was Crush Card Virus's errata. Now Crush Card Virus had the original effect of tribute a dark monster with 1,000 or less of attack, and then you can check your opponent's entire field and hand, destroy all monsters with 1,500 or more attack. Then for 3 turns afterward, every single time your opponent draws, you get to check that card, and if it's 1,500 or more attack, it's destroyed as well. This was devastating in almost any format that Crush Card existed. Crush Card type came around the time that it was reprinted inside of the Gold Series 2008 rendition, and yeah, it was in the Teleport Dark Arm format. It was already bad enough that we had Dark Arm Dragons flying around, destroying anything that it wanted, Stardust Dragon protecting cards from destruction, Royal Oppression preventing opponents from special summoning. Now we combine that with Don't Play Yu-Gi-Oh! If I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Crush Card was a terribly awesome card. I think the funniest thing about Crush Card's history is that when it got another massive reprinting, it was literally like banned right after. Crush Card's new errata changes everything. It still tributes a dark monster with 1,000 or less attack, but your opponent takes no damage until the end of next turn. Furthermore, your opponent can also decide to destroy 3 cards from their deck with 1,500 more attack. There's also no lingering effect of Crush Card. Your opponent can draw as many times as they want to without the fear of getting Crush Carded again. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ask me, that is probably the biggest nerf that we have on this list. Crush Card was still competitive immediately right after, specifically the Necros format. Imagine hitting a Necros deck. It's kind of good. A Yu-Gi-Oh! Errata is when Konami will officially rewrite the text of a card, changing the way it operates. And there have been some powerful cards that Konami has decided to change. And there have been some powerful cards that Konami has decided to change, which eventually, more often than not, led them to coming off the Forbidden list. Of this card being one of those powerful cards to ever exist, to you can only target normal summon monsters with Brain Control. I never knew how trash that would make Brain Control. And yeah, I cried because It's literally the same thing. There's like no restrictions to this card. 800 life points? Come on now. Do you think I should add more, or am I good?
No, I think you're good.
You sure? Okay. Well, that's all of the... What was the video name? Well, that's pretty much all we have for today for the most busted Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I've received in errata. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let us know down below in the comment section. Also, be sure to check out these videos. There's some really awesome videos. I think that you'll like them. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next video.